Hello and welcome to the gentle exercise class today with Claire and my little friend, as it's just been Halloween. So this is Peter the Pumpkin. He's going to join us today. So I'll just pop him to the side. He can watch. Okay, so let's get going. So today we're working with a chair and with medium weights. We're going to work the whole body, give a bit of a mix up, upper body, lower body, weights. Body weight. So let's get going. So again, tummy muscles nice and tight, shoulders are back and down, lifting them both feet. Just get moving. Little tap forward with your heels, bicep curls. Assuming that you've had your medication, you have your pumps and sprays with you, have something to eat in the last 4 hours, and you're fully hydrated. So work until you can't, rest until you can. The arms are coming up and out to the side. So just spend a few moments just to mobilize you, just to warm up your muscles, your joints, and increase your heart rate. So a little tap forward with your toes. So we're taking the joints through different range of movements to get them ready to do the exercise. So we take the arms down, circle the shoulders, big circle, and take that little tap out to the side. So again, keep your hips facing forward. Think about your hips as being headlights, so you don't twist to the side, so you're not going to be seeing where you're going, so your hips are staying forward. And again, push your tummy to the backbone. Little tap, keep the heels raised as you're tapping from side to side. So you've just added in your arms, a little bend in your elbows, so you're not locking the elbows out. Yeah, nice deep breaths. Don't hold your breath while you're doing any of these exercises. You're going to slow the pace and bring it back to a march when you're ready. So again, pushing the elbows back, pushing back, standing nice and tall. You slow the pace, take your little toes forward. So every time you take that toe forward, you're pushing the front of the foot up. And again, you're keeping those hips forward. So as you take that tap forward, keeping knees soft, so a slight bend in the knees. So place the heels forward now. So every time you place that heel down, draw the toe up towards you. You get a little stretch in the back of your calf. Okay, feet hip distance apart, swaying from side to side. Just transferring the weight from side to side. Travel the arms up the body. So it comes to the chest and shoulder height. And then slowly down. So now we're adding a bit of a twist here. So you're going to raise the heel up as you're moving from side to side. Don't forget, ache is good, pain is bad. Pain you stop, ache you can generally work through it, and things tend to ease if you keep moving. So the arms are coming down here. So feet hip distance apart, little bend in the knees, one hand in front, one hand behind, just transferring the weight back into your heels and hands back and forth. Okay, maintain a little bend in the knees. Take the hands to the side, shoulders are back and down. Take the elbows into the side, little twist to one side. Again, keeping those hips facing forward, and then to the opposite side. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and down as you've moved from side to side. And again, don't hold your breath. Allow your eyes to follow the tips of your fingers as you slowly move from side to side. It's lengthening up through the legs, taking hands down to the side and tilting from one side to the other. So the opposite hand comes up to the opposite armpit, and you're slowly sliding down. So your spine's going from side to side. So one more each side, standing up, circling the shoulders, and a little march. So we're going to start the circuit. Don't forget, the chair's always there. The chair is always your friend. And obviously Peter the Pumpkin, obviously. So the first exercise, heel digs. So now with the heel digs, we've done your sort of rewarm. You can increase the pace. And you can take those legs a little longer out in front as well. So you're going to add a little dip in the support leg. So you're hoping to increase your heart rate a little. And tapping at a greater pace than when you did the warm-up. We're taking the arms up in front. So you're making it a little bit harder because you're adding longer lever, so heavier weights away from your body. You have to think about pulling your tummy in a little bit more, and it will raise your heart rate just a little bit more. Take the arms down, circle the shoulders, back to the bicep curls. So alternate, let's all alternate this. So again, tapping forward, good pace. Okay, we're going to slow the pace, a little march, and pick up the weights when you're ready. So they need to be a medium weight. Everyone's different, just work to your own level. If anything starts to ache, just stop that movement and join back in when you're ready. So as though you're like a hammer, so you're hammering, so the grip is like so. So marching, taking arms up to the front, down, and out to the side. You work through the front, the middle, and the back area of your shoulders. So if you find that the weight's too heavy and you're sort of swinging up, take the weights away, reduce the weight, or have a little rest and join in whenever you can. Another way is if the weights are too heavy, just add a slight bend in the elbow, so you haven't got that weight of the arm and the weight of the weight further away from your body. So it just makes it a little bit easier if you're working with heavier weights. So don't forget, light weights for endurance work, heavier weights, strength work. So always rest, don't work through pain. So front and lateral raises. So we're just mixing it up today. So we do 2 more. That's 1 and 2. Placing the weights down, place them onto the chair is good. Peter will look after your weights. Okay, shoulders are back and down here. Taking the legs out to the side, little tap from side to side, so half jacks. You can afford to take this wider, so it's a wider stride, or you can lengthen the arms up and out to the side. So the pace is increased without having a bounce, so you protect your back and your knees. This is raising your heart rate because you've increased that pace, as long as you feel balanced. As I say, the chair is always your friend. You can do this behind the chair. You can hold on to the chair, taking the legs out to the side. Or just standing by the chair if you feel a little bit wobbly. You've always got that chair for support. So you can see the legs are going quite wide in that stride. Arms are nice and long, and the pace is quite quick and rhythmic. So just try and stay with a level which is appropriate for you. So we're almost here, almost finishing on this exercise. So slow the pace, draw the arms in, draw the feet in, bring it to a march. So a little breather in between each exercise. You don't need the chair, you don't need the weights. You tap forward with your heels, as we did in the warm-up. You can take a little kick forward, so flick kicks. See if you can travel this forward. So still kicking, and take this back. So with the arms, you can take the arms forward. So you're travelling forward, arms are coming up to shoulder height. You don't need to use the arms. You can stay with that heel dig in a static position if you want to. So I'll show you the static position. So static position is just with the heel digs. You can take the kick forward, and if you can, travel it forward, and you can also add a hop, skip, and a little jump if you want to. So your level, just keep it rhythmic, kicking the legs forward, knees are soft so you don't lock the joints out, and work it. So you could be going double pace from what I'm doing now. It's just easier to demonstrate if I go to a rhythmic pace, but not too crazy. Okay, a little march on the spot. So we're going to use the chair, and and the weights. What do you think about that? So join the chair in a comfortable position, placing one hand on the chair, hinge forward from the waist, the upper back supported here. So as though you're pulling a lawnmower, so pulling the start of a lawnmower. So elbows are coming up beyond the line of the body. Again, your breathing is smooth and controlled. The hand is supported onto the chair. Make sure the rear of the hand sits under your shoulders for full support. Reaching down as far as you can and squeezing that elbow up beyond the body. The weights come right up to your armpits. Your body's square and you're not twisting the body. So if you do one side, you need to do the other side. So just moving around. Placing your hand on the chair. Again, wrists sitting under your hips, feet hip distance apart, reaching down so that weight sort of tracks in line with your leg. So again, elbows come up. So a single arm mid-row. So again, keep your hips square so don't twist through the waist. Back nice and flat, squeezing up. Okay, give me a couple more. And this can go away. So tapping back, arms coming forward. So give your arms a little bit of a rest. Just move you around to different exercises. You can use a move from one exercise to the next exercise as a bit of a breather. So spotting dogs. So again, with this, you can alternate your arms. You've got to tighten your tummy a little bit more. Make sure the stride taps right out behind your hips and you're not crossing over your body, taking it straight back. You could always hold on to the weights as well if you wanted to. If you wanted to do pretty much all these exercises still hanging on to the weights. But that's taking it up a level. It's gentle exercise, so we're mixing it up. So slowing the pace. It does bring your heart rate up. Take the arms down. So step knee. So step forward, opposite knee. So marching arms, show you from the side without knocking the chair. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. So do it with a little bit of pace, so you cover the floor. The knee comes up, the arms can come a lot higher, so you can punch up as well. So the pace is up to you. If you're having a bad day, you can always do this sitting. I'll show you from the side again. 1, 2, so my back is upright. Head back, chin tucked in, elbows soft, arms rhythmic, knees coming up, not my chest to the knees. Almost there with the time. Okay, and a little march. So we're grabbing the weights again. So continue keeping those feet moving. Join in when you want. So bicep curl and then pushing up. So bicep, push up. So a little twist in the wrist, so bicep, push up. Just be careful that when you push up, you don't hollow the back. So the pelvis needs to be tucked under. So bicep, shoulders. You can do the sitting as well. If you're doing it standing, if you can, if your balance is there, keep the feet moving. So working your biceps and your shoulders. So you want to get to a point where you feel a little bit tired and you're waiting for me to say, that's enough. So you work yourself to a point where you feel that you're struggling. So the more that you do that in a light, controlled fashion, you increase your endurance of the muscles and also strengthen the muscles, depend on what exercises we're doing. So if we do a couple more. Placing the weights down, box step. So choose a leg, any leg, think 4 corners of the box, tapping forward and back. So bend the knees, again marching arms, but pushing those elbows back. So let's really push back. Again, traveling the floor, taking that stride as far forward as you can, but still keeping the weight over your heels. Keep your head raised, tummy nice and tight. Let's change legs. So I'm changing the leading leg. Sometimes we are side balance or side stronger. So it's just doing everything on the weaker and the stronger side. Sometimes you're a little bit more wobbly on one side, but it's good to do both sides. If you have a weaker side, it tends to be do the good side first, then the weaker side. So it becomes like a rehearsal for that weaker side. So box step. So bring it back to a march, little breather, have some water if you want to. Little step touch from side to side, join in whenever you want to. So hamstring curls, kicking the heels towards your bottom. So the aim is try to get the heels kicking the bottom. So you get the strengthening of your hamstrings and the lengthening of your quads. So again, the movement's rhythmic. So you don't need to use the arms. You can use the arms, you can keep them low, you can keep them high. And again, the level's up to you. You choose. So just work to your level and how you feel today. Beauty of the videos that you can take them and watch them other times when maybe you can take the levels up. So hamstring curls. I'm going to slow this pace. Bring it back to a march. Then we need to chair. So just get the weights off the chair. Have a little sit down. What could be easier? So sitting up nice and tall. Bring the feet, heels back, power up to standing position, and then slowly down. So join in when you're ready. If you can, put the hands across the chest. It will just limit the time that you swing the arms, taking the pressure away from the legs. So as you push up, keep the knees soft, heels to the floor, shoulders back. So if you want to just nudge and go, makes it a little bit harder, so you're not actually placing the weight down onto the chair, just making that contact behind the legs and your bottom. So you're just using that as a marker. So sit to stand, a functional activity. We have to do this all the time. Tend to do too much sitting, especially maybe as the weather's changing and we're unable to get out. So we're going to take it down towards the seat. We're going to hold it. Okay, we're going to feel the seat and then just lift off. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. So it's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then lower that down. Grabbing the weights. Sitting up nice and tall, no back support. Taking the weights out so your knuckles are beneath. Turn the knuckles so they're away. Draw the hands in towards you and then open out. So as though you're opening the curtains in the morning. Keeping the elbows high, wrists strong, squeezing together and extending out. As you extend out, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to keep those elbows raised. So we're not sort of looking at doing this. We're keeping the elbows raised. So the weights come sort of in front of the face and then out. So if you had a small child, it will be boo. Just keeping the elbows wide, elbows high. There's quite a strain on the shoulders. So just be very mindful. Take the weights away if you can, if you need to. But again, it's a nice stretch across the chest. Again, don't hold your breath. Okay, 2 more. Keep placing the weights down. Chair a little bit away from you. Little march on the spot. And march forward and raise the knee up. So you've done the knees up in a static position. Now just adding the knees with a movement. Depends on what you have around you, how much space, where you place the chair. You can add the arms in as well if you want to. So marching back and forth with the knee raised at the end. You can add that little hop if you want to. So stepping back and forth with a knee raise. Do 1 more. Okay, little step touch here, side to side. Swaying the arms from side to side. Again, travelling the floor as much as you can. Little bend in the knees. You can take it that you take it over. If you have enough space. And again, a little hop at the end. You can keep it to here, or just keep it to here. So whichever option you've chosen, stay with it. Next exercise will be with the weights. So if you want to slow this movement, and grab the weights when you're ready. So the march, so keep the feet moving throughout. You've got to think about arm out to the side, arm in front. But try to do it together. So one arm up and out to the side. So it's like tapping your tummy and rubbing your tummy and tapping your head. So again, a little bit more on your shoulders. Take it down and rest whenever you want to. As you take the arms up and out to the side, try to keep your weight forward and you don't twist from side to side. Then do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the weights down. So we didn't do so much on there because you've done quite a lot on your shoulders. So bringing that level down. Back to the chair. Hands sort of chair width apart. And the weights sit under your shoulders. So you're not working from here. So you can see the shoulders and the hands in line. Weight back. You can either bend the knees. So press up here. Or taking the legs back and doing the press up here. So you choose your option. I'm going the lower option today. So dropping down to the chair and pushing up. So this works your shoulders, so your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps, the back of your upper arm. So it's good for shoulder strengthening, as well as working the main muscles of your chest and back and triceps. Pushing down. So have a little rest whenever you want to. And join in. So keeping your head in line with your spine, Making sure, because my weight was starting to come back, I need to get my weight forward over the arms. So sometimes it's better to be less. Less is more sometimes. Okay, so one more. Taking the chair away, so we'll change. Taking it into a little squat. So squat, heel raise. Squat, heel raise. You can do it behind your chair if you want to. If you've got that chair for support, you get that squat, heel raise. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the chair. So squat back, push up. Squat back, nice and low. So that squat it's going to be sort of in line with the chair if you're using a chair as a guide. Because let's face it, you need to get that low to get up and down from a chair. So it's making the muscles work through a correct range of movement to make it functional. Rather than doing this, you're not going to get up and down from a chair because you get so far and then you collapse in the chair because your muscles aren't strong enough. So if you practice working through that full range of movement, so keeping all the muscles of your legs strong. You're going to do any exercise in the day, not really motivated. Squats, calf raises are probably one of the best ones you can choose. So squat, heel raise, squat, heel raise. And 4 more. And last one. Still working the legs, little squat down, tap to the side, squat down, tap to the side. This is the easiest option. You can use a chair, squat, tap, squat, tap. Try to keep your weight central, or if you can, without the chair, maybe do some with, some without. Next option, side drag raise. Taking the leg out to the side, keep it smooth. Try not to have it choppy. It just means your balance is compromised. So if you're doing this, because your balance isn't there, you're best to come back, do good form, use a chair. One side will be better. So again, maybe 2 to 1. So if this side was my worst, I would do so I don't do too much on that bad leg. Okay, a little march. So take it into the little lunge forward. Okay, so you can either tap forward or lunge forward. Picking up the weights. So lunge forward. Or tap forward. So when you change, notice the change. So elbows are raised. So tap or lunge forward, elbows raised, pushing out behind. So elbows don't drop. The weights do not come forward further than my hips. My elbows stay raised. So probably the hardest one. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, perfect. Weights down, using a chair for support, placing your hands onto the chair, taking the legs out behind, dropping the waist down, feeling the stretch in your calf. So if you don't feel the stretch, you can take the legs a little bit further back, drop the hips forward, so you can quite increase that stretch behind the back of your calf. You step in. So leg closest to the chair, slightly bent. Opposite leg. Again, I've done this before, where you can sway the leg, swing it back, grab hold of either your joggers or your heels, bringing your heels in towards you, or you can use the chair for support. So you could do it like so. So the chair is always your friend. But try and keep the knee pretty much back. Depends if you've got problems with the knee. So this is more support rather than pressure down onto the chair. And changing over legs. So again, you can use the chair for support. You're either holding on here. So we'll change the chair around, but just so it's easy for you to see. Okay, placing the legs down, circling the shoulders, drawing the hands together, pushing forward. Taking the arms up. Big circle down, hands into your lower back. Draw the arms forward, give a little shake, and you're done. So, from Peter the Pumpkin, have a lovely Halloween, and we'll see you in a week's time. Take care. Bye.